Okay, so variation talks about the differences. Like last time, we discovered how languages can be universal, that language have their similarities according to Chomsky and at the same time to Greenberg. But right now, what we are going to talk about is how these languages varies from one another. Okay, so language versus dialect. Last time, somehow we were able to discuss this. Can you please read the first bullet for language and versus dialect? Can I have here Judian?
Language: a medium of human communication, either spoken or written, involving the use of words in a structured and conventional way, versus dialect, a particular form of language which is unique to a specific region or social group.
Okay, thank you. So when we talk about language, we talk about a bigger portion of our medium of communication. Okay, it can be either written or spoken. It is structured. However, for dialect, it is just a particular form, a certain variety of language. Kumbaga, when you form a language, dialect is there. Okay, like a language consists of a lot of dialects. Charlotte, can you please read the second bullet?
Language: there are various languages in the world like Filipino and English. Dialect: a language has various dialects like Cebuano, Tagalog, and Bicolano for Filipino language.
Okay, so that's one good example. Filipino is a language, and that language, the Filipino language, consists of different dialects which are Cebuano, Tagalog, and Bicolano, and other Kapampangan, and etc. Okay, how about the third bullet? Can you please read it? Third bullet. Yes, Mr. Lee.
Language: speaker of two language will have understanding each other versus dialect: speakers of two dialect can understand what each other is saying.
Okay, let me clarify these differences more. So for language, we can know that when these two have the same language, they can understand each other. At the same time, with the dialect, um, they have this certain similarities. However, when we talk about the dialect, there are some portions of the language units of that dialect that cannot be understood with the other dialect. For example, the word langgam. Like for langgam in Tagalog, it's an insect, diba? That likes sweet. It can either be red or black. But in other dialects, langgam refers to a bird. Okay? So with that, we can say that there are also some differences with the dialect, but languages, we see it as a whole. Okay? So I hope that we're very clear about that. Okay, so are we clear about the language, how language is different from dialect? Malinaw po ah.
Yes po.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so there are two subgroups for a dialect. This is what you asked me. What's the difference between sociolect and idiolect? Paano nga ba nagkaiba itong dalawang ito? Um, please read this part. Can I have Abigail Corrales? Abigail? Baka nakatulog na si Abigail. How about Ronalyn?
Sociolect: a variety of language that reflects social variation in language
used according to certain factors related to the social group of the speaker, such as education, occupation, income level. Upper
Okay.
class English, middle class English, and lower class English.
Okay, so thank you, Ronaldin. So for sociolect, it refers to a certain group. Aside from the dialect, that dialect can also still be divided to their own sociolect, like smaller groups. Okay, wherein they have their own way of pronouncing a certain word. Like for this example, um, it refers to a social variation. Like, when this person speak like this, they come from this place. And when this person speak like that, they come from that place. There is a specificity and unique characteristics from the language or the dialect they are using. Example here is the upper class English, middle class English, and the low class English, for example. So when you go to America, this is just an example, yes, we have different languages. You know the English of Black Americans from the white Americans. Sometimes the Black Americans, they are being discriminated, or maybe if you, even though you are not a Black American, but when you speak, okay, the way how Black Americans speak, you can be discriminated because you know, that one is a Black American accent. Okay, so there's something about that. And then another, if you use a white American language, there's also discrimination. Like, that's better because he or she is using a white American accent. One thing, another, if you go abroad and you wanted to teach English abroad, you will not, most of the time, yes, Black people call their English creators. Yes, thank you for that. So most of the time, when you were when you were interviewed by, for example, a manager, you will use or you will practice the use of white Americans English. And you will avoid using Black Americans English. Para may mga ganong discrimination. Some schools lang naman to, disclaimer. So, but the discrimination, you were aware of that. The discrimination between the Black Americans and the white Americans are very prevalent in that place. So that's it. That's the sociolect we are referring. Even though they have the same dialect, still we have this what we call sociolect. Okay? Another, compare the Englishes of those, for example, in Makati. This is an example. Those in Makati City, and those, for example, living in the province, not really in the province, maybe sige, sabihin na lang natin, in Valenzuela or in Maykawayan, how they use the English language. Diba? When you go in Makati, di ba, paano yung mga word, yung English na paggamit nila, di ba medyo kikay or maybe maarte, sinasabi natin ng maarte, but that is the way, di ba? Parang, Charlotte, feeling ko, Charlotte, bigyan mo kami ng example. Sige, bigyan mo kami ng example, Charlotte. For example, you want to go to a certain place and you are a Makati girl. Makati girl. Hello, Charlotte. Nandiyan ka ba?
Nag-iisip pa po ako.
Sige. And for example, I am the Valenzuela girl. I'm the Valenzuela girl, and I will speak English. I will just speak English it is how I speak whenever I transact. For example, hello, I am Angelica Jimenez. Can I please have this? Can I please order one bucket chicken? I will just say that. But if you're in Makati girl and you will order something in, for example, in Jollibee or in any fast food, how will that be delivered? Sige nga. Paano? Anyone? Yung mga comment. Hindi, kahit sino naman. No pressure, Charlotte. Anyone? Sige nga, let's just try. Yung mga nakikita niyo. For example, si Chris Aquino. Parang ganyan. Pero later na yan si Chris. Yung mga, can I please have, tapos parang may pa-accent sila na, maybe that one. Ay, kasi medyo, na diet eh. Di ba parang ganun yung language nila? We are both using Taglish, di ba? But they have their own way of saying the Taglish word compared to a subgroup. But still, di ba? Yes. Yan, may pa-Konya slide. So, pwede rin, kaya din naman natin. Yeah, ganyan yung mga sa socialec. So, that's one example of socialec. And then, with that, we can see na RK. O, di ba RK? Parang rich kid to kasi parang nagkokonyo. Ganun agad yung tingin natin. Dun sa, compared with the other, for example, na nagtataglish, sakto lang, parang ganun. We are not being impressed or not really being impressed. Wala siyang masyadong impact sa atin. Parang natural lang. Okay? So that's the difference. Parang that's the socialec. Even though we are using the same dialect, still, we have a different way of delivering that dialect. Okay? Now, for the idiolec, that is what we refer to individual. That's the big difference. Socialec is for the society, for a group, but for idiolec, specific person. And one good example is Chris Aquino. The way Chris Aquino speaks, okay, is an example. That is her idiolec. Diba? May pagkakonya pero may tono. Sino pa? Who are the individuals you know that has unique idiolec? Actually, all of us has our own idiolec. Okay? Do you think of any other persona like a unique characteristic of the whenever that person speak a language? Rufa May, diba? Rufa May also has her idiolec. Any other? Sino pa? Sino pa yung may isip nyo na may idiolec? Sige nga. Chris Aquino, yes, as mentioned.
Si Duterte po parang pangkanto yung...
Okay, yeah. President Rodrigo Duterte, that's his way of English. Manny Pacquiao, di ba? English language din naman yung ginagamit, pero there's a unique characteristic as to how they use their idiolec. And when we talk about idiolec, that person is the only one using si Google. Actually, si Google ay ano din. Oo, tama. Noli de Castro, yes, correct. Yan. We have their own Jessica Soho. Yan. They use their language, the dialect, differently. And that's their idiolec. Okay? Even, for example, you're a person who has difficulty with letter S. Okay, that's your idiolec. That you have difficulty in pronouncing letter S. Yan. So, that's it. Ay, ito yung pinagkaiba ng idiolec versus socialec. Now, there's what we call sharp stratification. It refers to the certain pattern that certain pronunciation features, such as age dropping and grammatical features, we can like differentiate middle class from lower class. Like, for example, computer is already correct, but there's an impression if we say computer. Like that, right? Computer, okay naman computer. Why are you saying computer? So you think that it's more classy. You are part of a higher class if you say computer. Like that, di ba? Pwede naman computer na lang. Internet, okay din naman yung internet. So why are we saying internet? Di ba? Ganyan. So that's a sharp stratification. Sometimes we wanted to give people the impression that we are like this. Or maybe sometimes they are just really like that. And we do not smart shame people who uses that languages, diba? So that's their way of speaking. Kaya nga natin pinag-aaralan yung language, culture, and society. So I hope we're clear with subgroups of the dialect. Now, for the subgroup of languages, we also have this subgroup. So we go to a bigger picture, and these are the three: the lingua franca, the pidgin, and the Creole. Can you please read the definition for each, for the lingua franca, pidgin, and Creole? May I hear the voice of Micaela? Wala si Micaela. Sige, Judy Ann.
Lingua franca definition: an already existing language used for communication between groups of people who speak different language. Within definition, a language developed from a mixture of two languages and used as a way of communicating with people who do not share a common language. Cre- Creole,
Great.
Creole definition: the language when a pidgin becomes the language of new generation speakers.
Okay, thank you. So for lingua franca, this is the English language is our lingua franca, right? So that is already the existing language somewhere before English become the lingua franca. It is already existing, right? So then they established that okay, let's make this English an already existing language to become the universal language, so called. Okay, now pidgin. Pidgin is basically formed because of the need to communicate. That's what I have told you. You cannot trade products if the two nation does not have the same language. So what these two nations do is that they form their own language. It happens back then, centuries ago, nangyayari to centuries ago, especially when internet and computer is not really, parang hindi pa siya prominent. So, nag-uusap lang sila. Now, they cannot understand each other. They do not have resources to like educate themselves, di ba? They do not have resources to educate themselves with each other's languages. So what they do is that they form their own language. For example, this is just an example. We have Vietnamese and we have Cambodian. This is just an example. So the Vietnamese and the Cambodian doesn't understand each other. So as a result, they form a Vietnamese-Cambodian language, and that becomes a pidgin. Okay? Now, this pidgin suddenly becomes too popular in their place. Okay? And they thought that, this pidgin we are using lacks words, lacks structure, may kulang. Okay? So they establish rules in forming that language. They establish more vocabularies for that language. And that is where a pidgin becomes a Creole. Okay? The language, when a pidgin becomes the language of new generation of speakers. Like when they taught the Vietnamese Cambodian language, okay, when they teach this to their students, to their children, the children are already using the Vietnamese Cambodian, and now it is no longer pidgin. It is already a Creole. So yan na, parang kumbaga kung umpisahan natin pidgin, and then it becomes Creole, and then if this Creole were more developed, it will become lingua franca. Okay? But not all languages can be a lingua franca. Second, who wants to read the native language for the lingua franca, pidgin? Yes, Miss Baelio.
Native language may be a native language of a particular speech community, not a native language of any speech community. Wait lang mo. Became the native first language of a certain speech community.
Okay, thank you. So for lingua franca, it is already someone's language. It is already used, as what I have told you. But for pidgin, since you are just starting to form it, it does not exist yet. You are yet to create it. And now, since a Creole comes from pidgin, that is the first native language. Okay? Language features. Can you please read? Mr. Lee.
Language feature, not necessarily simplified, has limited vocabulary and simplified structure, has complex structure as it acquires additional vocabulary and grammatical structures to serve their various necessary communicative needs.
Okay, thank you. So for lingua franca, since it's already existing, you cannot simplify that, right? But for pidgin, since it's just a created type of language, there are just a limited vocabulary. Their structures are simple because the main purpose is just to communicate for trading, for business, and now for Creole, since they developed the pidgin, it will have more complex structures, more vocabularies, and grammatical rules. Phenomenon? LGL? Sige. LGL? Ay, nawala siya. Sige. Let's have someone raise their hand. Zappa, Miss Zappa for Lynn.
Lingua franca phenomenon use an already existing language that is spoken by all parties involved. Pidgin phenomenon involves creating a new language from two existing languages as speakers do not speak a common language. Creole phenomenon produced when new language generation of speaker considered Pidgin.
Okay, I think that's already a self-explanatory. That's what we are discussing a while ago. And example, sige, Miss Rojo, nandiyan ka na ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can
Sorry
you
po,
please...
nagloko po yung mic.
Yeah, it's okay. Example. Just read it, Miss Rojo, the example.
Example. Nowadays, English is the world lingua franca and this language is used from commerce and technology. Pidgin, Chinese Pidgin English and Hawaiian Pidgin English. Creole, Jamaican Creole is mixed with English and African.
Okay, so those are some of the examples. Lingua franca is the English. However, in addition, the pidgin, we have this Chinese pidgin and Hawaiian pidgin. They do not develop it yet. It's just pidgin for communication solely. You remember, Chinese, most of the Chinese really have a high or stronghold with their Mandarin, with their Chinese language. And for the Creole, it is already established pidgin that become a Creole. So it becomes a Jamaican Creole, English, and African pinagsama. Okay, so those are the difference between the three. Again, lingua franca is already established, but then we get it to become our lingua franca, the universal language. And then for the pidgin, we just created it for the sake of communicating. It is very simplified. The sole purpose is to give a message to whoever you wanted to tell or to give service to. And for the Creole, since the pidgin becomes popularized, you started teaching the Creole to your children, to the students, and it can become one's native language. And it can also have a possibility that it can be a lingua franca. Okay, so that's the three. Now, this is one interesting topic, the register in social linguistics. So what is a register? How can we say that? What is this register language we are talking about? Can you please read this one? Andy, are you there, Andy?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, please read this one.
Register, a variety of language used for a particular purpose or in a particular communicative situation. The degree of formality of language, but in a more general sense, it means the language used by a group of people who share similar work of interest, such as doctors or lawyers.
Okay, thank you, Andy. So for this part, we are talking about the level of formality. Okay, please take note of that. Register talks about the level of formality in language and how language is used with different fields like for work, for intimate Si Joshua. Walang wait lang, sige. Ayan, okay, sorry. Salamat. Hindi ko pala sila na-admit. Okay, thank you. Okay, so for this part, as what I have told you, the different languages, although we use the same, for example, sociolect, still, we use the same dialect, we have the same sociolect, but still, our use can be differentiated based on the register of language and the setting that we are in. So, for example, for formal and informal register, would you mind passing the salt? Okay, that one is a message that we can say for formality. If you're talking to a waiter, to a waitress, to a person, to maybe a stranger, you will say that, would you mind passing the salt? But for example, you're at home. How would you say this? Would you mind passing the salt? How would you say this if you are at home? Anyone? Paano you deliver? Same content, but you have different way. Make it informal. Would you mind passing the salt? Yeah, let's try. How would you make this informal? For example, yes, Jacqueline.
Salt nga, please.
Okay, salt nga please. And then Hannah, give me the salt. Yeah, that's how you will say that. Or maybe the salt. You will just say that. You will not complete the sentence since it's just informal, and actually just saying, like pointing it, you're already saying that the salt. Okay, kahit wala ka sinasabi, tinuturo mo lang, parang alam na rin ng kausap mo. And that one is an informal zone. So that's the example of the register. So there is the register formality scale. So number 1 is frozen. This is not Elsa and Anna. Okay, this is biblical quotations, archaism, something that is no longer evolving, something like that, static, hindi na pwedeng galawin, ayun na yun. Parang kapag ginalaw mo, it's very prohibited because it's archaic. For example, the Bible, di ba? Bawal nang bagu-baguhin yan. It's already a frozen. Confucius, the Analects is also one of the frozen register. So that's the frozen. Second, formal. Consider din, okay, that one is good question. Considered po ba ang mga words sa dictionary? Actually, Charlotte, some of the words in the dictionary are also changing. Okay? But you can say, in some part of the dictionary, nakalagay doon yung archaic form. For example, the archaic form is ganito. Ayun, it can be frozen. Kapag gagamitin mo talaga yung mismo archaic form. But then, if we are referring with the dictionary, we cannot say that it is frozen. Why? Because some of the words there can be changed. For example, the word nice, yung nice na word, dati, it means foolish. Ayun yung meaning niya. But now, when you say to a person, you're nice, meaning it's a positive thing. So, sa dictionary, nag-iiba siya. So, we cannot say that a dictionary is a frozen one. Okay? So, sure. And then, formal, this one, yung mga nakikita niya, dito siguro pwede pumasok, Charlotte, yung dictionary. We have this science dictionary, English dictionary, English-Filipino dictionary, that could be it. Tapos yung mga dictionary for different professions, that could be. Another, yung mga manuals, yan, yung mga nababasa, yung mga white papers of NFT games, those are formal. Lahat ng part ng mga technical writing, those are formal registers. Consultative. Okay. Can you please just explain this one? Help me explain this one. I think it's easy. Consultative. What is this? Desiree.
patient. Tapos, ayun nga po, I see doctor, I see ganun. Tapos, ayun po, nagkakaroon po sila ng daily participation. Kasi nga po, nagko-consult si doctor. And,
Thank you, Desiree. So, Desiree's example is about the doctor. The only thing that the doctor do is just to ask how that person is. Yun nga, consultation. Mr. Lee, you have additional example? Or maybe explanation?
Sa halimbawa po, ma'am, nag-share po ako ng thoughts ko or mga information po. Then po, yung magiging feedback po, yung nung kausap ko is yung sa halimbawa, ganun pala yun, yung mga ganun.
Okay, that could be, but just to make it more specific for consultative, that's correct that you are expecting a feedback, but that feedback should be like, aside from affirmation na, okay, that's like that, you are also giving a substantive feedback. Okay, parang check up nga, either psychiatrist, either doctor, can also be a teacher. For example, when you let your teacher check your research, diba? Your teacher, you are consulting your work, and then your teacher will give feedback according to your work. After your report, your teacher will give feedback. Okay, so that's an example. Thank you, Desiree and Mystery. So that's consultative. Now, I want you to differentiate. This can apply to chismis as well. Sige, tingnan nga natin yung message. No, sorry. Tingnan natin ito. Yung chismis. Okay. Yeah, that could be. Pero, more likely, pwede din siyang pumasok yung sa chismis part. Pwede din siyang pumasok sa casual. Sa casual eh. Okay. So, pwede din siya. Para minsan overlapping din kasi yung dalawang ito. Now, differentiate casual from intimate. Sige. Think about it. How do casual differ from intimate register? Yes, Charlotte.
For me po, ma'am, pag sinabi natin casual, ito po yung usual way na pakikipag-usap po natin sa mga friends natin, sa mga kakilala na po natin. Tapos po, pwede rin po natin gamitin yung mga words na in trend, yung mga nauuso, parang nagiging slang po, ganun like, halimbawa, nag-agree ka, omsim, omskirt, mga ganun po. Pero po, kasi yung salita po na yung mga ganun, ginagamit na po siya ng karamihan. Pero po, pag sinabi natin sa intimate, yung conversation po nila, close lang po sa kanilang dalawa, either family or friends na super close po talaga na talagang nag-share sila ng intimacy not in a romantic way. But parang po yung pagiging deep ng relationship nila, nagkakaroon po sila ng mga terms nila na silang dalawa lang po yung nakakaintindi na pag sinabi nila, halimbawa po pag let's say, tawag dito, body language. Halimbawa po nagtinginan po kayo ng best friend nyo, nagtanguan kayong ganon. Tapos parang nangiti kayo. That means po na sa utak nyo, meron na pong message agad na, ay, alam ko na yung ibig sabihin nito. Yun po yung para sa akin, ma'am.
Okay, well said. Another, Judy, you have additional?
Ma'am, ganun din po, pero po, yung casual po, more on, sa labas po sila. Tapos, mga friends, ganon. Pero yung intimate, yung sa family lang, yung sila lang yung nakakaalam, ganon.
Yeah, so you both have a point. For casual, whatever you are saying, you know that everyone can understand it. Okay? The chismis, like Hannah is stated a while ago, that chismis can be part of the casual. Okay, because anyone who hears it will understand it. However, for intimate, this is as what it is written here, non-public. It's just the two of you. Only the two of you can understand that. Yeah, sensitive, also secretive, Okay? Parang hindi siya basta-basta mo sasabihin kahit kanino. So that's intimate. So for casual, you can say it to anybody else. Okay? Intimate requires very high level of fondness and relationship. Yes, that's correct. There's a deep relationship with that person when you have intimate conversation with that. Right? But for casual, your friends, close friends, yeah, pwede sila. So yeah, that you have a good output right there. So those are the different register formality scale. You cannot have the intimate conversation, okay? The intimate conversation in the formal way. Okay. So for Mr. Vicente, from the word casual po, usually for the normal conversation, using slang words are included. Ayun, yung naka-refer doon. And then, kapag yung dalawa nag-usap ay super duper close. Correct. So, there's a limitation, boundaries sa ginagamit na words, closest friends, relatives. Yes, correct. From Justin, intimate has their own inside joke that only the two of them. Actually, kapag yun nga, yun sabi ni Charlotte kanina, titigan lang, pwedeng may ano na yon, may tawag dito, may meaning, or kaya nag-joke yung isang friend. Hindi na-gets ng iba, pero na-gets ng isa. It could be an intimate because they have this strong bond between them. So, those are the registers in formality scale. I hope that we are clear regarding this. So, here it is. I wanted to cite an instance where language variation is evident. Okay, so I'll give you maybe 1 minute, and then when we talk about the language variation, you can say about the pidgin, the Creole, the lingua franca, or the sociolect, the idiolect, yan po yun. And at the same time, yung mga register, like the intimate, casual, just cite an instance, any instance. Parang, kumari, kapag nandito kayo sa classroom, nandito kayo sa bahay, and then you just define what topic does that instance are you referring to. Halimbawa, yun nga, sinabi niyan chismis. Whenever you share, ano na ba nangyari kay, kay Alodia, tsaka kay Will, di ba? Chismosa, di ba? Tapos, kapag ganon, sabi niyo, when you talk to your friend about that conversation, you will tell to me that, Ma'am, that is an example of a casual register formality scale. Okay, sige. Think about an example and I will call kung sino man yung matatawag. Yes, Micaela, you're raising your hand. Nakataas lang. Okay, maybe we can have one example situation. Pwede na ba? Yes, Charlotte, what's yours?
Para po sa akin, ma'am, magbibigay ko pong example sa Idjulek po.
Mhm.
Kasi po, ma'am, dito po sa bahay namin, ano po, yung dalawa pong kapatid, more on, much fluent sila pagdating sa English. Kaya po, halimbawa po, nag-uusap kami, tas po, pag nag-uusap sila ng dalawang kapatid na nakababata, yung pinabunso po namin yung pina-fluent, like, pag po nagsasalita siya, straight lang English, as in yung pag kami ng mami ko, napakinggan namin, naintindihan mo? Parang ganun po, ma'am. Kasi po pag nagsalita siya, yung pronunciation niya po kakaiba. Like, for example, nagbibilang po siya ng 1 to 20. Tapos pag po narinig namin yung 20, tayo po 'di ba 20? Pero po pag sa kanya, sinabi niya it's 20. O kaya Ate, do we have some internet? Parang ganun po siya magsalita. Sobrang social po. Kasi po, kakaiba po yung pag kakaiba, malalaman namin na siya yung nagsasalita. Ganun po. Kasi po, ma'am, parang dagdag na rin po, may influence po rin yung social, like, dahil po, nanonood po kasi siya ng mga YouTubers na Western. Bali po na-adapt niya po yung pananalita niya doon po. Kaya po, parang nangyayari po, yun na po yung nagiging mother tongue niya, yung English language po.
Yeah, that's one. It's like in your family, your little brother is the only one who speak that fluent English, and that type of English parang Westerner nga. Kasi nga 20 tapos internet, di ba? But that's a good example for Angelic. Any other example? Yes, Justin.
Ma'am, sa akin naman po, sa casual lang po. Sa casual speech style po kasi, na-realize ko rin po na doon po, parang napuputol, kapag in-spell po siya, may times po na napuputol yung mga sinasabi. Like, kunyari po, I'm doing it my way. Yung doing, imbis na may G, natatanggal po siya, tapos minsan napapalitan po siya ng apostrophe. Tapos yung mga let me go, imbis po na let me go, pinagsama po yung let me, tapos nagiging let me. Para mga ganun po. Yung example lang po ng casual speech style po.
Yes, that's an example of reduction or construction of words. And those words are words that should not be used informal, but accepted with the casual. And that's a good example. Any other? Last one, maybe? Ano pa ba? Let's have the last example. Yes, Mr. Vicente.
Example ko po yun sa consultative po. During enrollment po kay Sir Gian, nagkakaroon po kami na parang nag-inquire po kami sa kanya. Tapos nagre-respond po siya. Tapos nagre-respond din po kami kung paano yung gagawin. Parang gano'n. Nagko-consult po.
Yes, because Sir Gian is a psychometrician, and that is one way for whenever you wanted to consult something to him, right? So, that's a good end for this discussion that we have here. Remember that what we learned today is something that would help us understand our language more. What sets you apart can sometimes feel like a burden. And remember that it is not. Sometimes you feel like, diba, I'm different. But no, it's how unique you are. We are all different. A lot of time, sorry, not every time. It's what makes you great. You are the only one who can do that, who can pronounce that, who can give that. So why not, diba? Di ba sabi nila, parang sabi ng Miss Universe last time, never say that I have, embracing your flaws. Because those flaws are not flaws. It is these are your features. So embrace your features, we are not just only referring with the language, but who you really are. And that's one thing that you have to remember. You see, there are a lot of variation. Yeah, we are unique. Yeah, it's you, and your uniqueness. That's correct. So I hope that you really learned something and you have a takeaway for our discussion for today. I also appreciate you coming today this early kahit mga inaantok pa. And I am very grateful to have you on. So that's all, and thank you so much, English 1A.